Okay. Last item on our agenda is our board member reports. We'll start with Member Price.
I have no report.
Member Haley.
Pass.
Member McDougall.
Yeah, the only thing I have to report was that I did have the opportunity to go and speak to the doctoral candidates at San Diego State University on leadership and community college instruction. I followed Dr. Scott, I think a couple of years ago, made a presentation to the same group, so I was a poor second choice, but I was pleased to be there.
Very good. Henry? Okay.
I just wanted to thank Vice Chancellor Michalowski, Vice Chancellor Perry, Russell, and retired annuitant Milan, because I had a presentation that I need to prepare for the National Assessment Governing Board. They were doing a session, and they helped provide me the data, which was extremely helpful. So I just want to thank you for that.
Member Reed. Member Davis-Lyman.
Yes, I'd like to speak for Member Baca, who said he will send his report electronically.
Okay.
You've already heard a great report on CPEC from Vice Chancellor Garcia, so that will stand as my report on CPEC. But I also attended the Economic and Workforce Development Program meeting in June.
As I mentioned earlier, I did attend the Student Success Task Force meeting in May just for an afternoon, just to see how they were working, and it was nearby, so that made it easy. And at the end of May, I got to attend Brian Williams' Education Nation.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing this in different places, and it was in Los Angeles, and I thought it was very interesting. He had a panel, and on that panel was Michael Milken, Eli Broad, I believe her first name's Helen Resnick, the woman who's the president of POM, the pomegranate juice. Linda, thank you. Fiji Water, many other companies. She's now transitioning into becoming a philanthropist. And they also had John Deasy, who's now the new superintendent of the Los Angeles School District. And just as a side note, I did see Ted Mitchell and Ben Austin there and got to talk to them a little bit. And just to give you a hint of what it was about, or a hint, I got to learn more about John Deasy, who's new on the job. He talked about students go into the classroom and they're turning off their cell phones, their iPads, their electronic toys, and they're sitting in a classroom very passively with a chalkboard and chalk and being lectured to. So we're really not using all the technology that we have. And I believe there were some classes that were given the iPad, and they were given their homework assignments, and the teachers are able to go online and see how they're doing their homework. It's sort of like our basic skills classes now. You know, they're not doing well in fractions, so the teacher can give them some extra fraction homework. They also can see when their students are doing their homework. And one of the things they mentioned is they were surprised how many children were doing homework on Christmas Day. A few hours worth. So it gives them a lot of feedback. I thought that was interesting. I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, well, if you're not celebrating that holiday, it's a pretty quiet day, and there's a lot of people of other backgrounds. And even though you might be celebrating the holiday, there's probably a little bit of downtime during the day when someone's cooking a dinner or after the dinner that you are getting some of your homework done. So they're getting a lot of feedback. So I think we're going to see some changes, I'm hoping, from the Los Angeles School District, and I was very encouraged by it all. And just as a quick comment, wasn't quite sure where to put this. In Sacramento, there's a newspaper called the Saturday News and Review, and last week they had an article about all the things to do in summer that were not expensive, and on that list was take a PE class at Los Cerritos College because it's cheaper than joining a gym. Oh. I was not happy.
Oh.
Member Izumi.
Publicity we don't want, right?
Right.
The only thing I have to report is that I was invited last month to Governor Brown's charter school in Oakland, the Oakland Military Institute. And that was their day of their grand review of the cadets. And as a member of the board, I had the opportunity to take the salute to the cadets on the reviewing stand, and that was really quite something. And one of the things that they did there was to call out the names of the cadets who were going to be attending college, and at that school they have about a 90% rate of college, going, which is really quite amazing given the low income background of these kids. And I would say that when they called out all these seniors, the majority of them were going to a community college.
Oh.
And so that was really gratifying. And, it's just goes to show, both the success of the governor's school, which he founded when he was the mayor of Oakland, but also, how the community colleges play a huge role with these, kids who are probably a lot of them first time, entrance into higher education in their families. So there's.
Great. Member Hawkins, again, we want to welcome you to the board. We look forward to working with you. These reports are part of our regular meetings. Feel free if you like. Otherwise, we'll catch up next time. Okay, Member Baum.
Sure, thank you, and apologies for missing yesterday. I was attending my brother's wedding. My oldest brother was getting married, so I was coming back from Chicago yesterday, but it looks like it's been a full agenda. I appreciate you holding several items for me today to be able to participate on. One thing Member Davis-Lyman mentioned, I attended the looking forward part of the CPEC meeting, and we weren't really prepared for the news that was going to come 2 weeks later, and so we're exploring a number of options as to the future of that organization, and I'm hoping that this body will find a way to maintain the assets and the work of CPEC in such a way, in working with our other partners in higher education, because there are databases and other types of core activities that I think would be a tragedy to lose. I was very proud to see that my home district, Pasadena Area Community College District, not only met its Osher grant, but was the largest donor to the Osher Scholarship Fund at 179% of its goal. And so we wanted to say that Pasadena did as much as it could to push that goal forward, and appreciate the work of the foundation and the Oshers, of course, to match all that investment. So that was something we're pleased at. And I'm also excited to see the new cameras, and looking forward to seeing how this will facilitate public access to our board meetings.
Great. Thank you. Only one final comment. I've talked with Vice President Perez, and we would like to, much like we have in the past, kind of do for our next meeting, do kind of a midterm retreat. Add that, maybe arrive a little earlier on Sunday.
September meeting is in Utah.
That's correct.
Okay.
So if everybody is interested, we might kind of review where things are, review our goals, make any kind of corrections mid-course, but we thought that might be a good thing to do if everybody is amenable to that. Okay, right? Okay, very good. With that, thank you all. Thank you, staff, for a great job once again. We'll see you in September.